Hi, this is Josh with Ivanti Wavelink. I'm going to show you forms inside of the Velocity platform today. To launch my demo, I'm going to select Forms 4.0 from my Host Profiles menu. This will launch our demo WMS. I'll begin by logging in with a username, mjagger, and the password, Rolling Stones. Now, you'll notice immediately, instead of going to the menu in the WMS, I'm taken to a pre-shift checklist to check out my forklift to ensure that I'm compliant with OSHA standards. Take note that the operator is already pre-populated. We grab that and set it as a variable when the end user logged into the WMS. We also populated the device velocity ID, which is a unique identifier that can identify this device for device checkout. So not only are we doing a pre-shift checklist on our forklift, we're also checking out and assigning the device to the Hi, this is Josh with Ivanti Wavelink. I'm going to show you forms inside of the Velocity platform today. To launch my demo, I'm going to select Forms 4.0 from my Host Profiles menu. This will launch our demo WMS. I'll begin by logging in with a username, mjagger, and the password, Rolling Stones. Now, you'll notice immediately, instead of going to the menu in the WMS, I'm taken to a pre-shift checklist to check out my forklift to ensure that I'm compliant with OSHA standards. Take note that the operator is already pre-populated. We grab that and set it as a variable when the end user logged into the WMS. We also populated the device velocity ID, which is a unique identifier that can identify this device for device checkout. So not only are we doing a pre-shift checklist on our forklift, we're also checking out and assigning the device to the user mjagger. So to begin, Mick's going to enter his equipment ID. So today he's on fork truck 8, and we're going to add the date. And Mick is going to be working and receiving today on second shift. And to begin this shift, he has to record the meter hours that his forklift shows on the hours meter. So we're just going to say at the beginning of this shift, there's 25 hours on the meter. And for the purpose of demonstration, I'm going to hide the keyboard just for real estate and the screen size here on my device. And then we're going to lead the end user through the checkout of the forklift. So the battery looks good. There's no hydraulic oil leaks. We're going to say the horn is effective. It may not be blowing as loud as it should be. The brakes are okay, forks are okay, and we continue down the list and step the user through all of the things they need to inspect to meet the OSHA requirements for that fork truck. At the end, we can put in a comment. Let's just say that the horn is quiet. Okay, and we'll submit that. Okay, and then the end user is taken to their WMS menu where they can go in and do their pick operation, receive operation, what have you. So then at the end of the shift, task workers typically end on the same screen at the end of their shift. So what we did here is at the outbound task where they would scan a task number for their, to grab their next pick sheet, we just enabled the exit button to also launch a form that would be the meter end or their end of shift form, for example. So again, mjagger pre-populated, the velocity ID pre-populated, right? We're pulling that directly from the device and the WMS respectively. So again, Mick fills out the information relating to his fork truck. So truck ID 8, the date is now, and then the meter end, I think we started at 25. So, Mick works a 10-hour shift, but he doesn't drive the forklift that whole time. So we're only going to add 9 hours instead of 10. So his final meter reading is 34 hours. We go ahead and submit that. And now the next time Mick hits the exit button, it actually logs him out of the profile. Okay, so that's great. For the end user, the task worker, it digitizes their forms, but it does much more than that. So let's take a look at that data and what you can do with that data. Immediately, if I pull up my email, I already have an email in my inbox that explains that the horn is too quiet on fork truck 8 as reported by M. Jagger, okay, in receiving, okay, with today's date. So immediately we're enabling a downstream workflow to occur by informing a supervisor or a maintenance worker that this fork truck requires immediate attention in receiving. Please go and see if the fork truck can be used for the rest of the day in its current state, or if it needs to be removed from service and put into a maintenance queue. In addition to the downstream workflow, I also have a database where I can go and check my forms, and I have my pre-shift checklist here. So let me take a look at those submissions, and we'll sort by date so we get the latest, greatest first. And there's today's submission with Mick Jagger on equipment 8, his meter start, okay, and then anything that may need attention, okay? And then in addition to that, we also have recorded the ID of the device that was used to check out said forklift. So we did 2 processes with 1 form. We checked out the forklift and recorded all that checkout process for any auditing that may occur if OSHA were to show up. And we also checked out that device ID at a timestamp and assigned that to the operator, M. Jagger. Okay? Now I can search that device ID or any of this information, okay? And I can find out all of the times that device was checked out and by which users that device was checked out to. I can also see that James Hetfield checked out that device on equipment on fork truck 7, okay, in replenishment, okay? So very quickly, you're able to see a lot of information, okay? Another unique thing, we can not only do the checkout, but if we go look at our meter end form, we can now see that at 2:33, M. Jagger checked in the device that he used on fork truck 8, okay? And we can also see the meter end number. So if you had any type of maintenance scenario, you could quickly audit this form data to say, hey, fork truck 8 is due for its monthly inspection or its monthly preventative maintenance. Okay? So that's just a quick look and one example of how you can use forms to augment your existing WMS processes and digitize some of your paper flows, but also automate some of your downstream workflows as it relates to capturing this data and creating actionable tasks for the next task worker in line. Thank you for your time today.